in terms of who you're targeting? Because it seems like from Iraq to Syria to Libya, and in this case now to Afghanistan, the question of where to concentrate the efforts and who to ally with can really determine the future of a country.
That's absolutely correct. It's hugely important what these troops are being sent to do. And actually, you quoted the Defense Department talking about a mix of terrorist groups and insurgent groups. It is vitally important to distinguish between those. There are groups that have international terrorist agendas that threaten us and our allies, and it's important that we use our military where appropriate to go after those groups. Insurgents who are fighting in Afghanistan are not principally the problem of the United States, and they should not be the target of U.S. military forces abroad, including any potential additional forces being sent into Afghanistan. So if that's what this is about, if it's about increasing the war on the Taliban, then it will only do harm.
If we look forward, if we look at what we see across the Middle East, lessons learned both in Afghanistan itself, in Iraq, in Libya, potentially in Syria, it seems that the crucial point comes after the United States, comes after NATO troops actually leave. Do you think that enough thought in the past has been put into what happens the day after?
Well, in some respects, yes. Was a tremendous part of the Obama administration's focus to build up Afghan national security forces so that they could take over the responsibility from the United States and our NATO allies. What was missing was a political component to the strategy that would bring the Taliban to the table and include them in a future government, because we couldn't beat the Taliban on the battlefield. The government of Afghanistan can't beat the Taliban on the battlefield. What is possible is a political settlement that will bring the conflict to some kind of reasonable termination.
And Chloe, the void isn't just about letting the Taliban or IS step in, for that matter. It's about major players in the Middle East, like Russia.
Right. So if the U.S. doesn't keep a consistent, coherent strategy continuing in Afghanistan, we've already seen reports of Russia arming the Taliban and reports of Iran trying to increase its influence in Afghanistan. So, of course, not in the U.S.'s interest to let Russia or Iran fill a void in Afghanistan.
Jarrett, will a negotiation with the Taliban, with a group that the United States has been targeting for so many years as a terror organization, lead to a better future for the Afghan people?
Well, I believe it's the best opportunity for a better future for the Afghan people. The Taliban have been looking to talk to the United States really ever since 2001. And for a variety of reasons, we've never fully seized the opportunity. But that is the way forward that might reduce the level of political violence in Afghanistan, allow us to address our legitimate concerns about terrorist groups in Afghanistan, and by cutting down on the violence, address the domestic needs of the people in Afghanistan so that they're able to slowly start rebuilding their country and build a better future for themselves.
So in effect, you can potentially fight the Islamic State terror group while sitting down to talk with the Taliban?
Oh, absolutely. I believe that that's not only possible, it's necessary.
All right, Jarrett, Blanc, thank you very much for weighing in.